Yes.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to Shining Hawk Healing and my guest, Adrian from Lentil Healing and Mr. Johnie from Tarot's Apprentice. Yay! It's our last go round for the year. We just wanted to get in a little bit of stuff that's happening. Maybe energies are happening next year, what's going on, a few things that we might be interested in. But first, a little house cleaning. Adrian, what's going on for you?
Hi. I have cleaned my whole house and reorganized all of the cabinets underneath my sinks because I've been off work for a whole whopping 48 hours and I feel like a brand new woman.
Oh my God.
What's going on?
You're making me feel bad.
It is amazing what happens when I don't clock into work. And then also in that cleaning, I have done. I've got some new sound recordings coming out. I've got one that's actually going to go live at like 5 Eastern, so probably after this live stream is done. It's a gratitude. There's both a guided meditation and a sound bath, so you get a 2 for 1. So that goes out at 5. I also have I'm just going to call it a meditation. I have 3 names in my head that I haven't quite decided on yet. Delicious bowl and gong bath. And I'm actually going to put that on my website for sale. It'll be very affordable, like, $1. But it's going to be like a 25 minutes. That's another sound bath and guided meditation. I did that one today. And then I'm going to do nothing for a whole freaking week. I'm going to watch everybody else do lives. I'm going to travel. I'm going to eat. I'm going to try not to do anything that will get me arrested.
Yeah, but you and I were doing something on the 29th.
And yeah, because and then the week after, we're going to be doing some sound baths. Tony, now I'll let you promote it because it'll be on your channel. And then I also, Jody Roberts and I will be going live on New Year's Day in the evening, probably around 6-ish, 4-ish, 5-ish, 3-ish, 2-ish. I don't know, something in Eastern time. To do some, I don't know, whatever. I haven't see. Here's my thing. I'll go like, oh, we should do a live stream. And then I'll reach out to people. And then what we do the live stream on, I usually don't know until the moment. Which thanks to both you and Johnie for always putting up with me when I'm like, let's do horoscopes. But I won't know until we do it what we're going to read on. My bad. That's it.
And scene. How about you, Mr. Johnie? What's going on for you?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Come on, Johnie.
You got a live stream coming on after this one. I know.
But that's every week. I mean, if I got to keep announcing that, then gosh darn it.
Keep announcing the time though. So
what time do you start? I don't know. Whenever we push go live, that's what time we start. Sugar. Boom, right there.
So Johnie.
Okay. Today we will be on the House of Lenormand, who was in the chat earlier. Tonight at 8 Eastern. Do your own math for your own time. New Year's Eve, we will be live on my channel doing a charity fundraiser stream. It will be from I think I'm going to start at 7, whether people are there or not. I'm going to start at 7 and we're going to go to midnight Eastern. I'm going to do everybody's midnight. So I guess it'll be another 3 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, it'll be 3 o'clock. It
was so much fun.
And what I'm going to do is I'll send the invitation out to everybody. And if you want to join, you come in 5-10 seconds, whatever you want to do, if you want to at all. We'll be doing some readings, not all political. We will have, I've got a little game that I want to play too. I'll give you a preview to what it is. And one of the questions is, who is the most likely? And that's the game. And so we will be doing it with the people on the screen. Like, who is the most likely to get impeached if they were president? So that's what we will be doing on New Year's Eve, as well as some reads and some non-political reads, which I'm going to try every year on those, because we've had a year of Trump and Trumpness. It would be good to have a day of a little less of that.
Yes.
So,
Amen.
And then my last soul chat will be that day too. We will be doing it on crystals and herbs and
Ooh.
meditations and yoga. That's what we'd be doing.
Ooh.
I always hear you in my head when somebody's like, what are chakras, or like describe Reiki, Adrian. I hear Johnie, and I hear Johnie going, so there are some people who think it's about being naked in the woods and your name is Apple. And that's not what it is. Cracks me up.
Who got like a underarm hair and it's like way down here? You can make a ponytail out of it. They smell like the outside, and it's like, that's what I've always thought, is that yoga and chakras and singing bowls were for earthy people who never wore shoes. They all got dreadlocks no matter what kind of hair you have. They always look like birds been playing in it. Well, and then you smell like the outside. And it's like,
yesterday,
you always smell like dirt.
Yeah, you just got a weird Mother Earthy smell to you because you don't really shower all that much, and then you got that rock salt deodorant, and I can't. You're like, no, it's aluminum free. Yes, but you stink, sugar. So.
Did I tell y'all I decided when I moved to Texas, when it's 115 on average during the day, that's when I decided I was going to stop wearing. I was going to go to natural deodorant and stop wearing like real deodorant.
Yeah, one day.
I learned the trick is that you can't care what you smell like. Like it was fine. I was like, oh, I smell like hot dog water. I don't care.
That's a special smell.
That's a powerful smell.
So yeah.
Ooh, lady, you smell like ballpark Franks. What is happening?
There's my fan. We said
Adrian, we made it 7 minutes.
Because I was thinking as I was getting ready to tell that story, I said, Heifer, didn't you say in the beginning, if I will not start none, so there will be none? You can't help yourself. You cannot help yourself. I'm sorry. It is something about the climate in Dallas. I actually got away with wearing. It was the combination of the drier climate, the fact that I didn't care if I smelled like hot dog water. I actually got acclimated to it. I tried that when I moved back to the East Coast. Johnie, it didn't even last 10 hours. I said, I stink. It's humidity. I couldn't do it. Because then I smelled like onions and hot dog water.
See, that onion smell will change your mind. That's what did it to me.
Hot dog water is one thing. I was like, oh, okay, you can eat. I'll either make you hungry or make you report. But the onions and the hot dog water, I said, oh no. My dermatologist was like, you really thought you were gonna try that in the swamp of DC and walk around here with no rocks and salt deodorant? Ma'am, no. Yeah, I am back on the full strength, full of aluminum, super secret strength.
By men.
Got ones that smell like cologne. They're aluminum free. And I was wearing that, and I did one of these. I was just reaching, mind you, and I'm like, all this right here. I'm like, either you got a Whopper under your arm from Burger King and McDonald's, or you said and you didn't cover that up. Because how you fall out from your own self?
You didn't have to do like this.
It was here. All I did was reach, and this is why God placed that right there. Yeah. So that when you turn your head, it's like,
you did. I never. Yep.
Hi guys. we didn't forget about you. We didn't forget.
We got one question though, and then I'll stop. Anybody in the chat, has anybody tried that Lumi deodorant where you can actually put it on your underpart, on your?
You can put that everywhere. Lumi.
I'm a little nervous about something you can put on your crotch holes as a woman. We'll leave it at that. So somebody in the chat, please tell me if you've tried the Lumi and if it works.
Well, let me ask you something. Do you put dryer sheets in with your underwear?
No, I have to wash my underwear in my underwear, my pajamas, and my sheets in like handmade soap because I'm very sensitive and I have hormonal issues. So I cannot put anything that has that'll give you the crotch crickets.
I put cologne everywhere.
I wish I could.
Everywhere. If it's skin and especially if it's skin and it folds, I'm putting cologne.
So I learned growing up, anywhere the skin bends is where you need to apply lotion and any kind of like anti-funk cream.
Amen.
Somebody, if anybody who has sensitive skin who's tried the Lumi, let me know because I'm very curious.
Oh God. They're like, oh God.
11 minutes, no questions.
No questions. No.
Okay, wait. Okay. No. One star for each of us.
We was trying to have fun. That's all we
I
was
want to
trying
know too. Why did I wear this new bra during?
It's like, get somewhere and sit down. Please.
Like it pulls everything up and it pushes them up.
Like, where are you trying to go?
Can't nobody see me past here anyway. Why am I trying to for Tony and Johnny? And I'm sitting here and I'm like, I'm gonna keep quiet. And at some point, I'm just gonna. If y'all see me doing that,
you're gonna have a choker in a minute. It's gonna come all the way up. Well, where you get that from? You get that from Jared. That's good.
You say those ain't buoys.
Oh Lord Jesus!
What are those? This is a new fashion.
Okay, Desiree, hold on. What is this V Fresh? Is it like is it a spray? Is it I just got this mental image.
V Fresh.
Of somebody taking a stick of deodorant and getting it from the rooter to the That was very violent. Sorry.
I don't want nothing below the equator that says the word fresh, because what you're trying to say first.
Because hair breeds bacteria.
It do.
Bacteria breeds.
But don't tell me I stink. Let me figure it out.
No. Because if you smell you're too late. Before you smell you. I just say.
Because you know what always run through my mind too? How many other people smelled this before me? Because I'm always paranoid. This is why I put cologne everywhere. Yeah. It's like, I just now figured this out. I didn't pass by somebody, you bring that waffle in with you when you pass by them, and they were like,
which is known as funk wind.
That is not eternity cologne.
Funk wind can come from 3 sources, actually 4. Your breath. So if you just walking and you're breathing and just because I had smelled somebody who had a funk wind from their mouth. Okay. The second place it comes from is your armpits, like Johnny said. So when you're walking and that whiff carries you. The third place, when you pump in your arm. The third place funk wind comes from is your groin area. So men, y'all call it gooch grease. Women, we just call it every day. I'm sorry. Holes and cracks and crevices. So I'm bound to stink at some point. I'm sorry. And in the fourth place, the funk wind comes from is your butt crack.
The 4 winds.
Called the 4 winds. I'm gonna look at them so differently now. They're all like, yeah. Mouth, armpits, crotch, or butt.
What's that commercial for diarrhea? Stomach upset. Diarrhea.
I got a wheeze. I swear I ain't got an asthma. I do.
I need to write a book of all of my Adrianisms. I bet you we got 55 people watching. 50 of them had never thought of the 4 wins before. And now they can name them.
It has to be an acronym now. Mouth.
Oh God. Would this be
what is it, Adrian? It has to be an acronym.
So mouth, armpit, mouth pits, MP, crotch or groin. So MPC or GB. Let me think through this. I'm about to do something highly inappropriate, except that whole conversation.
Okay, so we don't do that here.
Self-promotion. Starting in 2022, early 2022, there will be some more Lentil products that will address the butts and the cracks and the smell.
Y'all keep an eye out for that.
Johnie and Johnie, y'all act real surprised early January when you get a little tester bottle and some instructions to say, "Can y'all please test this and try it? Let me know."
That would be that's the weird tester.
Because the first time I made some, I got the armpit bubbles, and I realized I went a little too hard. So I pulled back a little bit, and then this time it's everybody.
Okay. Okay.
For me or you?
Lord Jesus.
I promise I'm done. I broke. I'm sorry. I'm done now.
Wait, I have to breathe. Okay.
We made it.
Woo.
7 minutes.
7 minutes.
17 minutes.
Actually, we didn't make it 7 minutes. We was going on for 7 minutes.
We were.
So we made it all of 0 minutes.
0.
We both said, we text back and forth, are we going to be on our best behavior when we get up in here?
This morning, we set it in stone. I said, Johnie, I will start none, so there will be none. And I started a whole bunch. So I'm sorry. He said, all I do is just read cards. That's it.
And I wasn't going to say nothing.
And we have blamed you. We're like, we're not going to say nothing. And then we'll breathe it, and Tony will giggle, and it'll be all she wrote.
Y'all ain't right. You ain't right. Okay, so let's look at some of the energies that are happening, maybe, possibly.
Yeah, I'm done.
2022.
Healing for president, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh gosh. So let's look at the auto industry. So automobiles. So it's said that the automobile industry will begin adopting crash avoidance braking by 2022. So your car will my car already does that. And it goes brake.
It yells at you?
Huh?
It yells at you, or does it actually stop?
It puts a huge, big stop sign up there, and then it actually stops. It will stop.
Okay.
So that has to be in all the cars by 2022, I guess the end of 2022.
Okay.
So is that going to be something that people are on board with, or do you not want your car? We don't want anybody to tell us what to do. So maybe you don't want your car to tell you what to do either. So.
Can you turn it off and like you know how some people have their GPS where it'll just give them the, turn, you don't hear Sue Ann's voice?
Yeah, I don't think you'll be able to turn that off. At least I don't know. Will we be able to dismantle it? Because I think it's a requirement that has to be in all cars. But I could be wrong.
The question we want is, will people be receptive to it?
Yes. Will people be receptive to this new mandate for driving in 2022?
That is wild.
Yes. I get the full and the 7-Up cups. There's going to be a beginning to a lot of features actually that are becoming standard. So this is not just your high-end cars that got heated seats. It's not just your fancy cars that have auto brakes. It's not just your blah, blah, blah. It's going to be sort of a standard thing going into the future to where it's just because it's also one of those things to where you have to remain competitive too. So if your car has, automatic this, then they need automatic that to sell the same thing, unless you get, a cheaper grade of car, and then it may comes with just the bells and not the whistles. But for most, especially, Toyota, Honda, and things of that nature, they sort of compete with one another. So those are going to be a little standard. The Six of Swords, this is also take it or leave it. So either you can get it or you can get your bike.
Yeah.
Or you can use Pat and Turner. Left is Pat and the right is Turner. You walk
Or,
your ass on down the road.
I mean,
You know who else you can use? Mr. Marta, Mr. Dart, Mr. Metro, city, state, mass transit is, you can use that too.
That would be much, more preferable. That would be preferable. Let's speak
That's
English,
my car.
Tony.
I get yes. There will at some point, yes, because Knight of Wands, 3 of Cups celebration, and then the Sun, this illumination. They will, and I think it'll be more positively received than we think there will, especially because in the past is the devil. So many looking at new ways to prevent accidents. And I also think too, I don't know why I'm hearing this. Wow, that's interesting. I have no cards that say this. But why am I saying this? Okay, well, I'll just say what I'm hearing then. Particularly parents of driving age children will be the biggest proponents to this, because that is, I love my niece, but she gets a little panicky when she drives. That's why we don't let her have a driver's license yet. She's had a learner's permit for the last 3 years. That would be parents. I just hear they're actually like paying, I hate to say paying lobbyists, but they may even lobby for this to be more widespread.
Yeah.
This
I
is
got
why
it.
heard,
It's
pairs
so
of
weird
shoes.
that this came in breaking free, and it's all about breaking. And I get, yes, this has been a dream for a long time for people, and they will be happy about the fact that we now have that as a safety measure. So yes. So great. I mean, I love my I have a little Mazda 3. I love it. It's a stick shift. I go zzz, and everybody's so surprised when I pull into a place and go, "Oh, why you drive a stick?" Yes, I drive a stick. I love it. I'm a little demon in the car.
Same.
This is why I walk.
Same.
So,
I have road rage issues.
you're not. I mean, people who walk. I almost hit Olivia Newton-John one day.
She should have got her ass across the street. Damn it.
But I always say to people who are in the street, you are not a car.
She should have gotten physical, and walked her behind across that street.
I mean,
I'm just saying.
Get in the street. Get
right
back
at the 3rd Street Promenade, near 3rd Street Promenade, Santa Monica.
Jinlin, as I address this uncomfortable ass bra, listen. This technology comes about 20 years too late, because it would have stopped me from driving into the Walgreens. You are absolutely correct, and shame on you for calling me out like that.
I mean,
also, you ain't lying either. So, and it's not necessarily a follow-up question we have to pull, but then as a result of this, then will we start to see decreases in auto insurance rates as well? Because then accident, or will it make a difference in accidents? Like, will we actually statistically start having a decrease in accidents? And if we have a decrease in accidents, will we start seeing a decrease in auto insurance rates? These are just things that I think are very interesting that hopefully will come from this.
Or I wonder also, will the prices go up because the plans have to change? Like,
but why would the prices go up if the accidents, the possibility of accidents go down? Why would the prices go up?
Because now you make less money.
Somehow,
because they're going to find other ways to charge us for that particular thing.
Or I don't need full coverage because my car is not going to be totaled, but I just need liability or whatever the case may be. Maybe I make less money. We'll see though.
But you got to have, what do you have to have? Collision? You have to have.
Depending on your state, and most states I think are pretty much like this. If you're still financing the car, you have to have full coverage. Some states, even if you're not financing the car, but if it's a certain years old age or mileage, you still have to have full coverage. And in some states, the moment you stop paying that off, you can have the most basic 1-800 call the general. You can have the most. I accidentally
and Shaq, I have a Shaq attack.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
That depends on where you live.
Okay, so the first 3D printed car will be in production in 2022. The first 3D produced car, what does that mean? And well, I don't even need the cards to say that a lot of people are going to be out of work.
Yeah.
What does that mean for the workforce if they are printing the cars now? Printing 3D cars.
I feel like that's going to be ramshackle and shiesty, but
I mean, they already make them out of plastic as it is. I mean, good Lord.
What's going to happen?
The cars I rode in as a kid never had a seatbelt, sat on the roof, all these different type of things. Never died. You put me in one of these plastic Fisher Price cars and it crunches up, and then you in the middle looking all like this here. Good Lord, I can't. A hummingbird flying to the side of your car and flip over. Like, you couldn't do that to them tanks back in the day. Because that's what they, now, mind you, you only getting, you put $10 of gas in your car, you're going to make it from there to the stop sign.
Because I was thinking the car I drove into the Walgreens was a 1980 something Volvo. Steel.
That was a tank.
Walgreens wasn't okay, but this car was.
The building wasn't good, but the car was.
I know. That's what my daughter's first car was, a Volvo. I made sure of it.
Like, you should have got your building made by Chevrolet like I did.
Volvo, we make buildings now.
Sad to say, I get the 5 of cups and the 9 of wands. So there is some regret and some loss. Not total loss, but it's kind of like Amazon has a store where there is no employees. There's no cashier. There's no cash register. Only people that work there are the people who restock the shelves. And so everything isn't gone, but you do need less people to make plastic cars than you did when they were made of something else or just made by people. There is a new industry though. See, this is also one of those things to where, yes, green solar this and green solar that takes away from people digging dirty rocks out the ground, but it's a new industry, new jobs. The challenge is being, I don't want to say that's rude, but being trained to do it. I was going to say smart enough. That's not right. To be trained in that field, to do that in particular work. So that's where the 2 of Pentacles comes in. It creates an imbalance. It's like this person who has worked for Ford since, 1979 doesn't know how to do 3D printing. And maybe they don't want to learn. Maybe they're set in their ways because they've got up for the last whatever amount of years at 4 o'clock in the morning to go do this one thing. And now you completely changed my life. So It'll be a tough road, but it will also create a new industry. So for those who do not learn, find something else to do.
Your cards are way more positive than mine.
It's the spin. That's all.
I can't even spin this to make
I
it.
got 3, 4, 10 of swords. I ignored those.
Yeah, I'm trying to find something positive. I'm trying, like, out of this whole pile, I'm like, is there a pseudo positive card I can pull? And I'm like, no. Interesting. So trying to hold on to the victory of the past. 6 of Wands is in the victory, and the 4 of Cups, or Pentacles, excuse me, is in the mood. They want to hold on to how the auto industry was. What made the auto industry successful? These are the workers. But the challenge, though, same thing that Johnie had, is 5 of Cups. It's not all is lost, but there is some disappointment, things that are changing that they did not have to deal with. Here's the thing that I'm trying to spin this some way, somehow. I don't know how to spin it. In the here and now is the sacrifice. So I think part of this, actually, that makes sense. The making the 3D cars was to sacrifice the workers. How can we do this cheaper? How can we get this and get these out quicker and cheaper? Okay, you can't really. And unfortunately, there are some people who are in on it too. There's this agreement. I don't know if it's with the government and with the auto industry, or if all the auto industry are in this together. But there's going to have to be some walking away and some changing of how things are done in the environment. Word of warning, though, is the Tower. That's why I say be careful of the motive. If you're doing this to sacrifice the workers just to get them out of the way, be careful, because it's going to take a little bit longer than you think to get this whole 3D printing off the ground with the 7 of Pentacles. You're going to have to wait for that seed to harvest, people to get in on it, or to get the technology, or even the government needs to even 100% sign off on this. There could be some safety regulations where they're like, a human being, though, really does need to be the one who watches or does whatever. So be careful.
Yeah. I got there's positive expectations about this, that it will happen, and there will be problems, like you said. There will be problems that they'll have to deal with, but they're going to have to find a way to rise above those problems. And I see the problems being the workers. What are you going to, what do you do with all of these people who you say are family? Oh, we're in a family. Our company is a family, but now we're changing. We're doing changes, and that family, we're just going to have to let some family members go, and we'll have to make some new friends. So they'll have to find some new jobs, or be trained in a different way, so that they can work at the factory that now that they do the 3D printing. I was watching that show called Westworld, and everything is made out of 3D printing there, the horses and all the people and all that stuff. So it's like people are going to have to learn how to do this 3D printing. So in the afternoon, it will be at the end of the day.
Close enough.
Will be resolved in some way. So I think it'll be okay, but yeah, there's going to be a lot of people out of work, and there's going to be a lot of things that have to be done in order for this to prove to be something that employs people without who they don't have any training. They're just going to have to train a bunch of people to do this. So hopefully we're not too old to be, we're not aged out of this whole, new revolutionary stuff. So.
That's kind of where I think your government, your legislation kind of needs to step in. And is this retraining going to be free?
Yeah.
Because if you make it convenient, then maybe I can learn it.
That's the thing I was thinking, because the one thing companies don't ever want to pay for is training and development. I'm just going to be honest. It's a cost, not a revenue generator. So,
right. They want people to come in already knowing what it is, what they have to do.
And the sad part is you're going to have a whole crop of college kids that do know how to do it. And then what happens to mom and dad and grandpa and grandma that,
kick them to the curb.
Yeah, it's like then next thing all they can do is be Walmart greeters when they used to make $70,000 a year type thing.
Yeah.
And then mind you, that's where I'm curious too. I was wondering if any of us were going to see where the unions play, because a lot of these auto manufacturing, most of these are unionized jobs. So I was wondering when I got the Two of Cups, there are two people who are in on this. Was it the union who's also in on this, or so I'm just curious, because I'm like, I can't see the unions going, okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
No.
I just can't. I just can't.
It's the unions. I think the unions are going to have to step up, because, you pay all this money in and dues and everything. The unions have to step up and say, we're putting out training programs for everybody because we see this coming. So the unions should take responsibility. You pay all this money in dues and everything. You should be able to get something out of it. And, except all you get is, you get somebody to represent you at the bargaining table, but you also need a little bit more help. So the union should be there for the people who are transitioning out of these jobs that are no longer necessary. The union should be involved. I'm a union girl. I'm in SAG, so not that it helps me.
But if you called upon it, then it might, at least.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there you go. And now we were talking about other modes of transportation. There's this thing called the Bicar, which is a cross between a bike and a car.
That's not a motorcycle.
It's electric.
A moped?
Fisher
Price cars.
I mean, even Barbie Dream Car went on by itself.
I'm so confused what they're trying to do with this.
So what is a Bicar?
A Bicar is a cross between a bike and an electric car. I don't think it's going to catch on. It's like, what were those things that people were riding?
It's a go-kart. It's a dune buggy. Stop.
Or four-wheel.
Yes, because my coon-ass cousins in Louisiana, coon-ass means Cajun, don't y'all come for me. All my coon-ass Cajun cousins drive them down the street in Louisiana. That is their primary means of transportation. They don't have a Buick. They got a moped. Dune buggy. And they ride them suckers in the storms, in the sleet.
Just like I was in Florida, they ride golf carts on the street like they're regular cars. I'm like, somebody drive past you fast enough, that's going to turn the whole other way, because it's basically wheels and a kite on the top. That's
so I'm trying to figure out if this little biped go off of people that the little keep going.
But what were those things that people were using? They had the huge wheels and you stand on them. What were those called? Segways. What happened to those?
Mall cops.
That's who's using them now.
That was supposed to revolutionize the industry, the auto industry was like, no way. No way. Okay, so let's just bypass that.
Well, I did a
we
read
already
on
know.
You want to see?
Yes.
I get the 5 of Wands, so there's conflict already right off the bat. And what I think is there's the magician in the world. This doesn't catch on because of the skill behind it. At the most, what it could do is be a fad, kind of like razor scooters or anything else, when you don't really need a scooter with smaller wheels. You can just get a regular scooter. And so when you have something like this that you can't take on the road because it's not road safe, or you can't do much with it other than just be cute somewhere. So it's not. It's not going to catch on. That's what I'm saying.
Is that the DUI on a lawnmower? She got a DUI on a lawnmower.
That's dirty Southern, though.
Oh my God. Oh, Jesus. You are a you're a drunk. You're not even an alcoholic. You're a drunk.
They took her keys away, so she had to find another mode of transportation.
Now your grass high as hell.
Oh, I have a headache. My head hurts so bad. My head
Ooh.
Lawnmower in the impound. I can't.
Oh, oh, wee.
Excuse me, lady. Do you have a license for that?
I lost my whole life on that one.
The problem is,
You
usually when you are drunk driving, they can tell that you're drunk behind the wheel because you may be swerving. What kind of machine? Like,
what were you doing on that lawnmower? Where they were like, bro, I think,
what was happening to where they looked and said, they must be drunk.
How fast was she going?
She trying to mow the seaweed in the lake or something. What was she doing?
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. I just was not expecting. I caught that out of the corner of my eye, and before I could even stop and put myself on mute, I was done. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Johnny.
Oh my God.
And the part, and it was in Tennessee. It was the whole thing. It was the way that entire.
You expect that from Tennessee, I guess.
Tennessee, a neighbor of my mother got a DUI on the lawnmower. It's the whole.
He ran out of beer and was heading out for more. Turned the mower over in a ditch. Yeah, that'll get you.
That's about right.
That'll get you a DUI.
Yeah, that'll get you a DUI.
Couple broken bones too.
Yep.
Oh my God.
And the wheels are spinning.
Hopefully the blades weren't going.
I know.
Oh my God.
That's exactly how they used to catch all of them on the golf
course. Let's get off the ground. Let's get off the ground and go to the air industry. So planes are being made to use solar for fuel. So will this be the future of air travel? Solar for fuel. There are already they have some planes that are using it in some capacity.
Passenger planes?
I don't know if they're passenger planes, but they are planes that use solar energy. I don't know if they're passenger planes. How safe would that be? Especially at night. Nobody can fly at night.
Okay, so okay.
They're supposed to store energy, right?
Yeah. But okay. Let me pull the cards and see what they say before I go off to this diatribe about aviation. I told y'all I was working on a pilot's license at one point in my life. So I already don't see this going well. For what I know of aviation. So it's like, do I the card say before I get my
will this catch on? Yes, in the future. Little by little. Okay. I think what happens is it is going to start with like drones and crop planes for whatever reason is what I'm getting the image of. Things that do not have to fly over city spaces or large bodies of water. Mm-hmm. Something that goes in specific areas. So like drones where you send those in particular things. And I keep getting the image of a crop plane, something that may even just drop something to put out fires to help with that type of thing. I get the Page of Cups. Page of Cups is innovation and creativity. And then I get the Eight of Pentacles, which is work. This is going to be a thing that they're working on because, mind you, renewable is what we're all talking about. So Then I get the Page of Pentacles, which is documents about money. So these are new contracts and new leases, new this is and that's. And then the Nine of Wands. It has a long road to go. So this is not something tomorrow we're going to see widespread solar planes. But, and I think what's happening right now, the reason why it's not off the ground, as to say, is there is no real blueprint on how to do this either.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't really have a point A to point B to get this off the ground. This is more like a, hey, we could do such and such. Yeah, sure you could, but you have to figure out how. So that's kind of where we are right now. It still has a long road to go, but somebody's got to be thinking about it, I suppose. Ends in the Ace of Pentacles. Opportunity is there.
World, Wheel of Fortune. So, is that Wheel of Fortune? Oh, yes. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay. Two of Wands. Potential for this to go ahead and work itself out to do, but it's going to be small scale. What I'm getting, Four of Wands. There's particular niche community that this is going to be a part of. So I agree everything that Johnie was saying in the beginning wholeheartedly, but we got to be careful too is this, I think the strategy too is how do we implement something like this world bigger scale? How do we keep it going in our favor? How do we even come up with the plan to do this, making sure we get, like Johnie was saying, getting the plan together, but it's going to have to be in a small niche. I asked, will it be for passenger planes, commercial flights? I'm getting Five of Pentacles and Three of Pentacles. There's something about the money and being out in the loss, which supports my theory. The amount of energy it takes to take off. And when you take off, especially with the anytime every time you're taking off, you are taking off in preparation that you're going to have to turn around and come back again. Every takeoff is not, I'm going to take off and fly. It is, I've set everything, my fuel, my energy, my motion. So if I get up about 5,000, 10,000 feet, this mother sucker doesn't work, I got enough energy to make that big ass loop and come around and try this again. All right. So if anybody who's afraid of flying, you don't have to be, because everything is calculated to take off and come right back around. Okay. That amount of energy that you need so much. Once a plane is airborne, it's a glider. It can come back down as long as you know what you're doing. Right. Mm-hmm. That I could see using solar. How do you get solar energy, enough solar energy stored up to take off people and luggage going 200 knots to take off? It's going to be hard because I don't know.
It's so like a rocket. This little part at the top of the rocket is where the people are.
Yep.
All the rest of this is fuel and water to get it off the ground. And so it takes a lot of energy to propel something that big and that heavy off the ground.
So maybe they'll have to be like hybrids. Like they'll have to use fuel for takeoff and enough fuel for takeoff, enough emergency fuel for landing in case some frackle pops off. And then maybe during actual airborne where you autopilot's on and the pilots are sitting back playing checkers and drinking lattes. Yes, that's what they do up there. And then you can use solar power and have reserve solar power. But just to take off alone with passengers, it's too much energy. I don't see how you can do it. I'm not saying it's impossible. My basic human brain just doesn't know how that would work.
Yeah, I pulled the power. They want to harness the power of the sun in order to, and make that a universal thing for all air travel. But, and they want it fast, of course, they want it fast, and they, not necessarily good at this point. They want it fast. But Adrian, they don't have the firm foundation. They don't have a firm foundation for this particular thing. That's your man. That's my Tay Diggs card. But they do see this as a new opportunity to change the direction of air travel. So they're working on it, and hopefully, I don't know, someday.
on like 100% solar powered buses or something that's just not airborne yet before.
Yes.
I'm
There's
not going.
something that doesn't take, like you say, passenger planes take a lot more to get off the ground. Something small, a little 2-seater propeller plane or something, but not a whole big jet engine. I mean, but then again, I've never built a rocket. Maybe a more efficient way later on in the future, because right now you don't have an efficient way to get it off the ground without all that fuel. So
Yeah.
they don't know either.
Because truth be told, the way the airline industry works, they only make money butts and seats, and they only make money as many flights as they can get. That's why that's why they get you behind on and off as quickly as possible, because they got to make more money, which means they got to get more people in air. Fueling, all of that plays into a part of that. That takes time away to get the mother suckers up in the air. So I know the airline industry would want this, because then they can take that less money they're having to pay for fuel. I can get more flights up, and I can fly from 2 o'clock in the morning until 2 o'clock in the afternoon and only break for 15 minutes. I can make more money. I can get more flights. I can get more airspace, but I can't do that if these mother suckers is dropping out the ground because they didn't get enough charge in that battery. No, that's a bad look. That's a bad look.
That's a bad look.
It's a real bad look.
So staying with travel, we got the US is going to start issuing passports with non-binary gender options.
Yeah.
So how's this going to go over with all the peoples who don't like it?
They technically started issuing them late fall. The first one went out. I was reading an article about it. It was very interesting. And I was looking at a picture on how it's done. And I was like, that's actually kind of cool. From somebody who has a male name and always having to explain, I'm Adrian. No, I'm Adrian. No, it's me. I promise. I don't know. I just thought it was really cool. But I'm a little bit more progressive now.
And I am not so much. I always have this, I want everybody in the world to feel comfortable and included. And I worked at Target when they had the whole bathroom garbage. And I'm like, just leave people alone. They're going in there to relieve themselves, not to peek at other. And if you're worried about something, the person who's legally to be in there with you is peeking at you anyway, if that's what they came in there to do. So anyway, so my thing was, I know I worked with someone when I lived in Florida who was non-binary. They weren't male nor female. And some days they felt this way, and some days they felt they were female, and some days they felt that and I'm like, okay, you got to be one or the other for me, though. And mind you, I have no right to tell them that, but I told them anyway. I'm like, because I can't call you a they, because that's too much like it. And that sounds like an insult. And I'm like, I can't with the they. So it's like, well, who are you today? What are we? I'm calling you your name, but when I need to describe you to the police because you stole something or you're running away from something, I can't say they're a they. I need to say you're a male or
say
that's where my old-fashioned brain comes in. But now, mind you, the logical part of me, I don't care. Be who you want to be.
And see, that's so easy to me. They were wearing blue pants. They have orange hair. It's just an easy, and that's why I said I have to take myself out of it, because I don't know, something in my brain is just conditioned to where that's just very easy for me.
Mm-hmm. I get the Ace of Wands and the Temperance. It'll work. This is one of those things also to where this is, now mind you, let me say this too. This is a progressive nation. So we are not, believe it or not, we are not all Republican driven. We are not all regressive in our thinking. The Ace of Wands and the Temperance is also, you're going to do it whether you like it or not. Just like if you work at the county clerk office and 2 men or 2 women come in to get married, you're going to sign their certificate and then tell them have a nice day. If you're not, then you're going to get fired. So either you're going to do it or you're not. So you don't have to participate. but then go somewhere else to where you don't have to, because you're not going to do it here. And so, but there is the Five of Cups and the Six of Wands. There is some people who feel as though there may be, they don't like it, but the Six of Wands, it wins out anyway, because you can't stop this type of thing. It has nothing to do with you. So why you upset about somebody else's passport, I have no idea. But it wins out in the first place. This ain't none of your business what they call themselves.
Johnie,
as long as they ain't calling it to you.
Unless you're the customs agent that's trying to shake that person down to see if he, her, or they are smuggling some drugs in their underclaws or they backpack, it does not matter to anybody else. So to me,
at all,
it's more of how does this work with customs? Are they cool? Are they gonna, does it make my life a little bit more easier or difficult as passing? And so I don't give a shit. And no, neither should anybody else. It has not what two people, what somebody does with their body should not matter to you. I'm gonna get off my soapbox.
she did.
It's just it really, really challenges me when somebody has an opinion about an opinion. People are allowed to have opinions. That's not what I'm saying. But when you start making laws or doing something that infringes upon somebody's right over their body, over their physical autonomy, that bothers me. I'd be just as pissed as women making laws about men having to get vasectomies or whatever as I am about women's right to choose. You have to let. I'm talking about the notion of the law, not the fact that I think they should. If we're gonna have one, we either have both or we have none, right? And so that's that's something that is a human. That's the contract I signed when I came down. That crap bothers the ish out of me. It really, really does. Because I don't care. You're not in my bedroom. I don't give a shit what you do. And I probably should care more about the people in my bedroom, because if I did, I'd have a husband anyway. Strength, temperance, and strength start almost exactly as Johnie's does. The challenge is strength, though. It starts off with temperance, but the challenge is strength. There are some people who are just gonna be bitchy about it. This actually I heard was a long time coming. This was something that there's wanted to do for a while with the temperance, but it took a while to get off going, because we're now moving into smoother water where we're trying to get more inclusive and trying to just look at humans as humans and stop labeling. But there is something hiding in the background, though. I could be some frackel that's going to pop off. There are people who are just not happy about it. They may start some fracas, some fights. But with the King of Swords, the Sword of Truth is going to come out, though. I think that's in there's Page of Cups. There's this emotion, head over heart, people not knowing what decision to make. And ultimately, I hope we don't have a reversal when things go back. With the Six of Cups is my outcome. I'd hate to we made a huge step forward and then take 6 steps back, but that may end up being the case. And I'm wondering if there's going to be not a law, but like something happens to where to go, like Johnie saying, hey, how do I describe this person who just tried to run through customs with 8 bags of marijuana? I couldn't give a proper description. I need to label if that's a male or a female so we can put them on the, they keep changing their alias. So it's hard to put them on a no-fly list when we can't put an accurate description. That description may need to include if it's male or female. So it may be something like that kind of law or situation that causes a change.
Yeah, I just got the victory and success in their passage in their passage. So whatever it is, I think it's going to have to be supported by law. It has to be a law, and getting it through the law will only be successful if there is material. If somebody can make money off of it, then it's going to be, yes, let's do it. Please, come on. But if, otherwise, I don't know, it may not be as successful, which is bad. So, working from home versus working in the office. I know. How do you feel about that, Miss Adrian?
as a person who has worked from home even before COVID started. So when I was in my last state, I had to be in the office all day, every day. And we were like getting in the office at like 8 o'clock in the morning, not leaving until 8 o'clock at night. That was probably the most miserable experience. And we had that workforce 2020. So like we were all on top of each other. People were always snotting and snuffling and hacking. And the germaphobe with a compromised immune system, I was always like, stay away from me, Satan. And then I moved to DC and we only went to the office once a month, if that, before COVID. How much work I got done. My mental health, my sanity. It was just amazing. And then last year, all these companies were like, we're making so much money. You don't have to come in the office. And then they were like, just kidding, you have to come back. I hope all of them get a horrible case of it. My poor sister now has to go back into the office every day. And she lives, I mean, she's in the car 5 hours a day because of the traffic. And I just watched her. She went from like functional to like now she's gaining weight again and she's stressed because I'm like, yeah, you have most of your life is in the car. And we already proven that we don't have to do this. Which one are we doing? Is we barbecuing or is we grilling? Which one? Something else.
A little birdie told me that 2022 might be the best year to start your own business. So is it the best year to start your own business? Is 2022 one of those years that will see an uptick in business?
People are sick and tired of this corporate BS. Johnie says this all the time, and I agree with it. Not everybody's meant to be an entrepreneur.
It's hard.
There are some people I spent $300 with small business owners to support as a reciprocity to support them because people support me. I ordered these products 6 weeks ago and they still haven't even shipped out yet.
Are they in the United States?
They're in the US. One of them is down the damn street.
Well, they could have walked it down to your house.
And I texted her, was like, where's my stuff? Oh, it shipped out Monday. That was 3 Mondays ago. Where's my stuff? Not everybody's meant to be an entrepreneur.
It had to go through China first. I know I ordered a bed for my dog. It took 2 months to get here from China.
No, see, but that's from the China. What you got, Johnie? Sorry.
I personally do not like working from home. I like being in front of people. I'd like a schedule. I have to do something every day. Working from home means I work for myself and I don't have to do nothing if I don't want to. Because if I ain't hungry, then I ain't got to buy no food. If I ain't got to buy no food, I don't need no money. So but I got 6 of swords, and 6 of pentacles. Yes, as far as 2022 being a good time for starting a business, it is a good time for investing or starting. The 6 of Pentacles is not, everybody on the 6 of Pentacles is not giving money. Some people down here are just taking. So maybe you are the giver and you are supporting a business, redlentilhealing.com, or maybe you are starting your own business,
redlentilhealing.com.
So, whichever the case may be, maybe you are just meant to be the supporter, and everybody's not a leader. Everybody's not a go-getter and a get things done type of person. So I get the King of Swords and the 10 of Swords. The King of Swords is your logicalness, and you're planning that. This is like your lawyer, and you're a person who can be a little more organized and all that type of thing. And then there's the 10 of Swords. Maybe you're not the planner. Maybe you are just the person who can take a person's vision and work out the kinks. Or maybe you're just the person who can build the store while they run it. You know, find your place is what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Find your avenue, the world. See the bigger picture. Don't be discouraged by the I can't. Be encouraged by the what can I do? Because there is something you can do, whether it is just making sure a person is supported. Maybe that's all you can do, but that's not really all you can do. That's enough, because maybe that's what that person needs at the moment, is some support. So Yes, it's going to be a good year for that type of thing. But if it's not in you, don't force it.
Yep. Same thing. Some people are going to, independence is going to be their key, starting the action and the world. So yes, it'll kick off. You can do this. However, if you do not have the plans set in place, if you cannot be this sort of truth, this bringer, don't do it. Just don't. With the 5 of Swords, just don't do it, because not everybody in the environment is going to have the money or bring in the money. Most importantly, not everybody also is going to. It is hard to be a business owner. All 3 of us know this. It's hard when you're doing something where you're relying on others to. We're not Amazon. It's something that people feel they need. It is really hard to continue to bring in money. You have to have that community of people that see the value in your product to keep bringing it in. And then even that community, do they have the money at that moment that lines up with your ability to pay that electric bill, my dude? And that's a lot of things that people don't put into, they factor in when they start these businesses. So like Johnie said, when he pulled the King of Swords, what is the thought behind it? Do you have everything you need? How are your plans in place for you to start this venture? And if not, it doesn't mean no. It just may mean not at this time. Mm-hmm. Maybe later in 2022, or maybe 2022 is the year you plan it, and 2023 is the year you execute.
Totally. Planning, movement, all of the decisions and choices that you have to make regarding this. If this is something that you feel is your purpose, then go for it. Do it. If your heart is really in it, be smart about it. Be smart about starting your own business. Like Adrian says, she is go to redlentilhealing.com and buy some shit. Okay. Oops, did I say that? Okay. Buy some stuff from redlentilhealing.com.
You can say shit. I say shit really all the time. I actually was getting ready to ship some shit Friday for the orders. I said, I got to ship this shit. And I was like, shipping that into the energy field is technically not shit. I was like, but the spirit knows what I mean.
Well, if YouTube wants you to use a different word, then they should have monetized you.
They should have given me the vocabulary equipped.
So eventually, if you've got all your eggs in the basket and all of your ducks in a row, you will feel that recognition and reward that comes with having your crap together.
And Marie, I absolutely can. Be careful what you wish for, because I don't think you want to pay for what I'm going to charge you for that gallon of Florida water, my dude. So I'm just saying. It is kind of flammable, so make sure you don't light a match next to your neighbor's house when you pour. Arson, Kate's to catch. I'm just saying.
Don't burn down your neighbor's house. Okay, so we're moving on to healthcare. So researchers and scientists have developed the ability to replicate faces through DNA analysis. Is this more matrix stuff? Is this actually going to happen? I mean, why would you need, I guess if you've had an accident, you can redo your face?
That's what I was wondering, because I was like, are they using it for to find behavioral science, trying to catch a perpetrator? Would that, you used to have
missing persons.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that I sort of came up with in my mind was that now you can steal people's faces. They get your DNA and some real matrix stuff.
No, that's different. That guy who just went to prison because he was using his girlfriend's facial recognition on her phone while she was asleep, and he stole $23,000 out of her checking account. That's also what I thought. It was like, we already, with our phones, he put that mother sucker up to her face while she was asleep. And then here's my question. Okay. Let $23 go missing out of my checking account. 23,000. How much money you got where you didn't recognize? You didn't realize 23 G's was missing.
And why you ain't throwing no hot chicken grease on him as well?
Your body to take to prison because I would have got that behind.
I mean, good old undercooked grits too at that. So you burnt and sandy feeling. It's like you can't really get that.
Sandy feeling.
Just ask Al Green about it.
Okay. And my grandfather, Al Bassenia, because his second wife threw some in his face and he lost an eyeball. I didn't tell you that story.
You hot grits, don't you?
I love my grandfather. He's an amazing ancestral guide, but you know, he had a wandering eye, and then that wandering eye was no eye.
Hot grits.
His grandma
And then
got it out behind, or that eye.
He just pass the eye on down the road.
God bless him. God bless him.
Oh my God.
What's the specific question? I keep getting us derailed, y'all. I'm sorry. This is what happens when I get a lot of I'm sorry. What was the actual question?
Is it going to be safe for them to replicate faces using DNA? Is it going to be something that people use for good or for evil?
They're going to do it anyway. If it's burnt the world down, they're still going to do it while apologizing. I get the Four of Cups. This is one of those things that are just coming along with the time. This is advancing. You can take it or leave it, but it's coming anyway. I get the Judgment card. This is, it required, I think, personally, just based upon the Judgment card. I didn't make it up, look it up. It may be you need to think about this a little bit more. Maybe you went from A to Z without all the stuff in between. Like there's some other things to consider. There maybe need to be, this is not a widespread thing. Maybe this needs to be something that is controlled and regulated, like extremely controlled and regulated.
Amen.
There is, there's the Knight of Wands progression. The Hermit kind of gives me the idea that it's going to leach into something to where it's not the greatest of things, because the Hermit is an investigator, but it's also someone in the dark too. So this gives the idea that, you know, anyway, but silver lining, my card for doctors, my card for healing. So this does do something for the medical field. And what I was actually thinking about, and it's not here in the spread, was thinking about it. Maybe there is something also to maybe missing persons. Maybe if you can get certain DNA together, you can figure out what a person looks like to find them what they look like right now or something of that nature. But for a person like me who has all of one picture of themselves that they took in 1915. So I don't like pictures. I always look like a drag queen in them, so I don't like pictures. Anyway.
Pretty drag queen though.
Because I take a picture and my lips go, and then my eyebrows arch for no reason. And so I'm like, what are you doing?
It's just
This is not the cover girl shoot. It was just supposed to see.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You're like
but
this.
That's what I get. Yes, for whatever reason, it do it automatically. But it's coming anyway, and I think doctors can make use of it, but I think others can too, who should not.
That is so true, because it's already out with the Nine of Cups. They're going to do it anyway, like John. And I actually pulled this card, the Nine of Cups, as he was saying. They're going to do it. It's already out. They're going to do it anyway. Their challenge, though, is the Emperor. So whoever this nefarious people are, the people who are going to abuse the power, that is going to be the challenge. That is going to be the challenge. I don't even know if I need to say more. However, too, there's some things that are going to be secretive too that's going to be done with this. Hopefully it's not the Emperor, the people trying to do some nefarious mess in the night. There's this Knight of Swords, so charging in with this new thought. There's going to be some financing behind it, 9 of Pentacles, and then 10 of Pentacles, more money. This is going to be a big money maker. I hope that this is like we're hoping for, hope is not a strategy, but let's hope for better and not for nastiness.
Isn't it always the way? We always have to have money.
Because it's also, even if you get it into the hospitals, the doctors could be owned by somebody in the mob too. Hey, change a face. Hey, make this disappear. Alter this. Whatever the case.
Yeah, they will do it. They're doing it now, like you said, and the sacrifice is that we're going to have to deal with the whatever the fallout is, whatever the nefarious fallout will be, because there's going to have to be some kind of regulations put in place. But you know, we know how that goes.
And that's the emperor in that deck too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep, that's the emperor coming out. Gonna have it.
These people.
So. Some experts say that COVID will lose its pandemic status in 2022. Dr. Fauci is saying that it's going to be with us for a long time. So will it peter out as a pandemic next year? Is that the energy that we're getting? Or will it continue to wreak havoc?
Fauci I give him the side eye. I can't with him. I don't know why. I can't.
Oh, Tony, what you got against Tony? Oh, what you got against Tony? I know somebody else that couldn't stand Tony's ass either, so it's okay.
I just. Seven of Pentacles. It is here for a while. This has a natural course that is going to take. I was listening to someone talk about the living status of a virus, whether you declare it living or not, because it's not alive like bacteria, but it still replicates. So it's a whole thing, whether the host and all that type of stuff. So there's Seven of Pentacles. Reason I say all that, the Page of Pentacles, it gets a new title. So maybe not pandemic, because I think that they're trying to separate us from the fear with the Moon card. They're trying to separate us from the urgent fear, the hysteria. They're trying to separate us from that part, because every time they say the word variant, everybody goes back into panic mode, even though it's going to have more of these variants. So again, don't live in fear. That's not a place. That's not a zip code. It's all in here. Stop that, first of all. But there you go. I think they're going to change the title based upon trying to get people out of fear. It's still there. It's still technically, definitionally a pandemic, but I think they're going to change the title to bring people out of fear. Kind of like when they open things and they refuse to close it again. If they close everything, then they make you think something's wrong. So, go to the football game with 40,000 people. It's all right.
It's fine. Don't
At
worry
least
about
10,000
it.
of them had a shot. So,
Gosh.
Unless you're in Tennessee in a ditch with a lawnmower, then maybe you did. But that's what I get.
Type of person. Five of Cups. This worry is not fear of being without. However, the challenge is the plan. So yes, it is going to be here for a minute. We have yet to come up with, or I'm not even saying come up, execute, because the Two of Wands is there's the plan. It just hasn't come to fruition yet to get us out of this mode. We still have cases. We still have people get sick. We still have the whole vaccinate, unvaccinate, whatever side of the fence you're on. We cannot get all of us to come together on this. So that's going to be, how do we plan for that? How do we move past that? There is this wanting to be victorious, but yet some people are still stuck in their ways. Some people are dogmatic about how they feel about this. So I almost see it's like the Fauci's, the governments of the world wanting to move us forward, saying we're good, we're seeing less cases, but yet there are people who are going, no, we're not. It's still something to be worried about. Or to adverse that, you have people wanting to be victorious. Let's get through this. But then you've got people who still don't believe it's even real. Because remember, this is mental. They've made up their mind about something and they refuse to move. Beyond that, I got a whole bunch of other cards. I'm not going to bore you with them, but the outcome is the Five of Swords. So we got to figure this one out. So no, unfortunately, I think we will make some progress, but I just don't think we're going to be out of this yet.
Yeah, I think you're right. We have this mental conflict going on with it. The government wants us to move on. Even though they know that everybody is suffering in, where's that card? Where's it card? I think eventually it's going to be suffering in silence. Pulling it down as a word, the pandemic, like Johnie said, pandemic, the flu, a strain of the flu. Now we're going to have a strain of the flu. It's just the way it's going to be from now on until somewhere down the line we eradicate it like polio, because the people in charge have decided that the people need to move on. Even though we have this awareness, just keep moving on, the wisdom behind it. We will never have this when it comes to the virus, when it comes to what is actually going on with it. We won't have the complete truth. I don't think so. That's just that's what I'm getting. I just don't feel like we're going to have the complete truth. Actually, they're going to put another name onto it, something like the flu, something like that. I don't know.
Coronavirus 20 or coronavirus 21, and it'll be another variant, but it will be less deadly, and it's phasing out and blah blah blah. Meanwhile, it's all still here because we got 50 states, but 50 different agendas at the same time.
Yeah,
because all that stuff runs from the top. You got your DeSantis who wants to ignore it. Then you got your Democratic governor in New York who is hiding the numbers. It's like, so it's one of them type of things.
And also let's compound this. You've got 50 states doing 50 different things, and you've got however many counties in a state that's still doing their own damn thing. Yeah. And then a city within a county that's doing its own. My neighborhood is got one mandate, even though the county I live in has a different mandate, which has a completely different mandate than the state.
Mm-hmm.
Which one do you follow? What do you do?
You never know. You'll never know, because conflict and confusion, they help keep us in the dark. So let's move on to something a little bit happier, I guess. Pizza. The military is their food researchers have developed or are trying to develop a pizza that can last for 3 years. I don't know where it's going to last, but maybe out on the battlefield.
Got no cheese on it.
It's like that Miracle Meat that we used to get in high school. They used it for everything.
It's got so much sodium in it.
My worry is, how does my body know to push all that back out, though?
And it doesn't.
It doesn't.
Yeah. Your body doesn't know what to do with that.
Because it's not food at that point.
Yeah.
It's made in a lab, so
your
body doesn't really know what that is.
There's this rule. If you can't pronounce it, your body can't digest it.
It doesn't want it.
I don't want it.
So we're just going to do a general read on this man-made gutless pizza.
Yeah, is it a viable idea? Will it be something that will be nutritious for the soldiers?
Because mind you, what are the MREs? They aren't the I mean, what freeze dried this and super freeze dried that. So it's Meanwhile, that's what you got to do, though, because I mean, it ain't like you're going from the war zone to the KFC, so it's in the middle of Baghdad.
Can you imagine if we had people going, peanuts popcorn on the battlefield, peanuts, popcorn, pizza.
Get in the ditch.
Get your ribs. Half a rack, full rack.
The Mac rib is back.
You said Mac. Not big. Mac rib. I love you for that.
Oh.
My niece used to F those things up. She would eat 2 at a time. I'm like, ew, how are we related?
Oh gosh.
It's not a rib though. That was always my thing.
No.
It's not even
Well,
rib.
is the chicken nugget a chicken?
Well, it's got to its credit, it has 10% chicken meat in it. So
And
that's so
Oh God, the first card came up for me.
see, that's the
death card.
So, like, for real, I got the 5 of Pentacles. There's something about illness with this. Mind you, I think maybe it's the rollout, maybe it's the ingredients. I don't know. The 8 of Wands, 9 of Wands. It doesn't stay down. This has the potential to be projectile.
Yeah. Or explosive. Power in here. Okay.
Whatever it is, it shoots and spreads.
I swear to God, I thought you were going to say shoots and sprays, and then I was about to get off the camera.
Because I mean, the 8 of Wands is going through the air, so it does not stay down. It has a travel. It has a destination it wants to go with the Knight of Wands. It's not going to stay down. There's the 5 of Pentacles is about illness for me, but it's also being out into the cold. Because see, here's the thing. They're going to I don't want to say perfect this, but they're going to change it and sort of master it over time. Because I mean, if you go to the grocery store and find one thing wrapped in cellophane, plastic, colorful wrapper, it's got all kinds of crap in there that you don't find on trees nowhere. So it's like the Chariots, it has a slow and steady wins the race mentality. They're going to perfect it eventually because half the stuff we eat anyway is not food. So they will figure a way to put a 3-year shelf life pizza in the freezer section one day.
Yeah, but I don't think it has to be refrigerated. I just think it just supposedly.
Yeah, because I
and everything else, buffalo wings, anything that you think should expire, like the McDonald's hamburgers that they take pictures of 20 years later and it still looks the same. They will find a way to make stuff to where Twinkies to where they never expire ever.
Here's the thing. I do not work for Food Saver, so this video is not in any way advertised by Food Saver, but I'm about to promote the hell out of one of these sons of bitches because I have pizza in my freezer right now except for the pizza that I showed you that I ate Friday night, Johnny, because I smashed. I ate that whole pizza by myself. I don't, zero regrets. I have pizza, slice of pizza in my freezer right now that I cryovac and it's been in that mother sucker for over a year. And if I take it out and heat in the oven, it's going to taste exactly how it does. We already have the technology to flash freeze stuff, but this is missing the whole freeze part. This is just making something that you pour some hot water on and boom, it's a pizza. I don't, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Tony.
No, go.
So I was just like, we're moving away from something and getting victorious. And I think maybe it is moving away to I think the notion of trying to find food that we can keep for long periods of time. I think it's more of the technology that we're trying to get to. I think pizza is a bad example and a bad first one, but whatever. We got to start somewhere. They probably should have started with, grape nuts or something like that, but pizza, whatever. Okay. There's going to be a lot of fighting about this though. There's going to be a lot of conflict. How to do it safely. Army, whoever's coming up with this to sell it to the army is going to have to defend the notion of why they're even doing this and how safe it is. I think there's going to be some government regulation at the end with the emperor. I think somebody's going to have to step in and say, hey, to make this health and safe, we're going to have to do this, but we can't be giving our soldiers mystery meat and expecting them to be fully ready to fight a war when they're having to wear Depends.
Because mind you, in Oklahoma, when I lived there eons ago, they had a bit of controversy to where if you had food stamps, you could not buy McDonald's with it. And a lot of people could before their little rule change because they said McDonald's is not nutritious. And so there's also that aspect of, can you now regulate what people buy with public assistance type of thing?
And we shouldn't give people, just because they can't afford food, reject mystery meat either, because that's another fear. You're gonna give it to the people who have no choice, and then people who have no choice, the poor and impoverished, and that's really freaking that's horrific.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we're looking at the transformation of food in a way. I mean, it's the death of one way and the birth of another, I guess, to activate. Hopefully there's a healthy activation within this food that gives you some kind of nutrition, but people are not going to trust this right away. I know I don't trust it because I just don't trust a lot of things when it comes from the corporate world. But we need it, something that we need. It's something that we need. It's something that it's the wheel of fortune. It's definitely going to happen. And they will make it so that, like the mystery meat that we have now, all of the miracle burgers and all that stuff, they will make it so that it's, what, baby? They will make it so it's okay. My dog is like, oh.
Your dog warn everybody not to eat that damn mystery meat.
This is not food, and yet I eat it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It's a gummy worm.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nothing about this food. Zero. This
Sugar.
ain't no water in here. Ain't no berries. Ain't no chicken feet. This is pure chemical from top to bottom.
But it's delicious.
And they gonna feed it to somebody, and somebody gonna buy it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's not delivery. It's 13-year-old DiGiorno. So there you go.
Hey, DiGiorno last night, and the whole roof of my mouth is bite off.
Okay, last question. So 10% of the world's population will be wearing clothes connected to the internet.
Yeah.
In 2022.
Clothing that's connected. So like my shirt's got a little sensor.
They have rings and earrings and what do you call these things? Glasses that you connect to the internet with. I don't know about what you can do with them. I just know that there's a ring, like kind of like an Apple Watch that has a thing on it that you could look at.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, you can.
So my boobs can Google.
I don't know if they have stickers on them.
But do you really want them to?
Find the right bra and my boobs will Google. Oh, imagine that.
I don't know. I'm wary of wearing clothes that someone can track. I mean, and my uncle, he is a pastor. No, he is a deacon in a church, and he was convinced that the shots had little chips in them where they could follow you and track you and all this other stuff. And I just found out that he has COVID. So I'm like, Lord.
And if they track you, then what?
You are not
Then what?
important.
Then what?
They track you anyway.
Anyway,
Every day.
you know how
Every
many
day.
cameras are aligned along the streets that somebody's looking at and can see you? And I mean, they find you anyway.
I got a little prompt on my computer today and said your viewer, your computer viewer or your online viewership is down, not for anybody else watching me, but for me using the internet, my usage has been down. So I should get with it. I should get should get on board and
I've
get
been
on the.
monitoring my usage.
Yeah, they monitor your usage. They follow you everywhere. When you sign up for a subscription, you give your phone number, you give your email address.
Your
They
date of
track you
birth.
everywhere, and then they sell that to somebody else who tracks you. Everybody's tracking everybody.
And
So-
that's just I never in my mind could figure out how small that damn microchip has to be. It's got to be really strong to get through a liquid that's going to pass through your body. And then how do you keep your body from pooping the microchip out? Like, is it small enough to go through my urethra so when I pee, it comes out? Like, I could just never understand that. And these are a lot of the same people who believe in flat earth theory. No, even though there's tons of satellite pictures that shows the earth.
I would love to get to the edge of the earth. Look out.
When you do, let me know because I want to see it.
Just so fascinating to me.
Because you can just stand and look. I ain't got to buy a telescope. You can just look out into space. That's the best commercial for LASIK I've ever seen. Right
And
there.
then my question too is that what country is technically the edge? Is it
The
China?
edge of the earth.
What's the edge of the earth? But what country, what geographic zone does that lie in?
Antarctica, because the flat Earth says that the ring of ice is what keeps us from falling off. So
Yeah,
polar-
but now everything is melted. So what's holding us on?
But isn't the theory that it's a cube?
no, it's
flat?
flat like this, and then there's a ring of ice around it that keeps us.
Who
from-
said that? Who came
That's
up with
flat
that?
Flat
Yes.
Earth theory.
That's the flat Earth theory.
Be with it. I can't. What was
My
the
God.
actual question? Because I pulled all these cards, but I don't know what the line was doing.
So
Somebody might
the actual question is, will we be buying clothing that is connected to the internet? And
Yes.
well, my question is, why would we do that? And then another question would be, will we do that?
I got yes, and because it's a fad, and especially if you can pay one of the walking billboards we call celebrities to walk around with it, and then it becomes a big thing. I got the 10 of Cups, the happy family, the harmony. All I need is the right person with the right reach, like a Cardi B or a Barack Obama uses the internet glasses or whatever the heck. And then the 6 of Swords, we move in from the beginning to the calmer waters. We move into, interestingly enough, discovery is what it says on here. So we move into the better time. The the Hierophant, which is number 5, and then the Star, and then the Ace of Cups. Then you can also get maybe some government people to get into this. You can get this into different industries. You can get this into the church. You can get this into different places to where you see Ocasio-Cortez with the new watch, and then you see the whoever it may be. So yes, we will be doing this because it's a fad, and all you need is the right people to wear it. And mind you,
Yeah, I won't be doing it.
Yeah.
I won't be doing
I
that.
haven't put on my Apple Watch in 4 days, and it's been the most freeing. I ain't got nothing buzzing at me. I'm not stressed about trying to get
Take
some
the pain off.
I am, I cannot be any more connected to the internet than I am now. I don't want to be. I don't
Everything
want
around
to
me is
wear it. I don't even really want to be next to it. But
too far. I just at some point, when do we? I don't know. Yes, we will. Going off into this new journey, it's going to be celebrated too. There's some people who are going to be extremely happy about it. Here's the thing, though. So yes, we will. Who? I think there's going to be some juggling. People, also their plan and doing it. Sorry, that also go with the yes. My bad. Who? Why? I think the government's going to step in. I don't know why I'm getting Army. I'm using this more for military, trying to get people who with all these swords of truth and also defending. I see somebody standing defending. I think, yes, like Johnie will have the celebrities wearing it, but I also think in the future this could be something that part of the military, their actual uniform, if it isn't already, actually.
You need to spread it into different industries.
Yeah. And the that with the Hierophant.
Yeah, this they're fashion forward. Let's connect you to the internet. That's the next big thing. What's happening? This is going to your gut is gonna tell you to go out and buy it right away. Do it now, fast. But we're gonna run into some problems. Something is going to be, oh gosh, children's clothing. That's the problem, because you don't want.
We're gonna go too far, and I kept putting it in underwear or something, and then all of a sudden you've got www.bathroomshot.com, and you've got pictures of women. You know what I'm saying? Like something, and you can track women when they're in the bath. Like something that could go so unintentionally too far. I didn't think children's clothing though. That's a good ass point.
Yeah, children's clothing. You don't want people are not going to want their children to be tracked on the internet. Period. At least I wouldn't. But
it's currently it's not illegal. Like you can put a tracking device on your kid especially if they walk home from school, that type of thing. But the internet and internet companies cannot track your child's activity, just like they had the big to-do on YouTube about that. The reason I have to say no, my children or my videos are not for children type thing. So there's still some regulation in place, but at the same time, anything man touches can be perverted. So,
exactly.
And it will. Guaranteed. I guarantee.
That's the scary thing. How do we keep?
Because it's all about this power.
Yeah. Money, power, and greed.
That is the end, my friends. I'm gonna put my hands up because
one of the 4 funk wins. She's scared of one of the 4 funk wins. Tony just told on herself. She said she must.
It's the one day that I used.
Wait a minute, though. Hold on a second. There's this meme that I sent my family, and it says, "Oh, how far away is it?" It says, "Well, come on." Okay, I'm gonna put it. Well, if you can see it.
What does it say? If you stink in the cold, you a different type of. You a special kind of musty.
Johnie looks like he's screwing up a story.
Let's
hear it, Johnie. What you got?
No, I have no story. I have a absolute yes. I second that.
Yeah.
Because when I've had my issues, it was not in the summertime. Because when it's hot outside, I know better.
Yeah.
I am well over 200 whole pounds, and so I know when it's hot outside, you got to use the aluminum. You can't be, and I don't use deodorant because deodorant is just cologne under your arms. You have to use perspirant. Because I don't need, you can sweat, but I don't need to smell it.
Yeah.
And so, but in the wintertime, I get a little lax sometimes, and then you do one of these, and then.
The 4 funk wins.
It's like, oh, I was reaching for this ink pen, but you need to get up and go wash your hose. Because something just ain't right. right.
It's not good. No, nothing good.
Because it's 22 degrees outside and you smell like a whole pig. So
You
so get up and get it together.
and wash your behind.
Because somebody else
Wash
has smelled you.
your behind.
And if somebody had told me I smell just as bad at 40 as I smelled at 13, I would have said the devil is a lie. Like, you need the hormones come back and you have no control. You know better, but you can't. You still, for no fault of your own, can't get better. I should not smell the same as my 9-year-old nephew. I just shouldn't. But
Not nephew, because you know boys stink extra hard.
boys think
They all smell like puppies.
Yeah.
Sunshine.
They all smell like ass.
That's why bars are so many in the back. Because I mean, hit the Dollar Tree up. You ain't even got to spend a whole bunch. A whole bar if you need to. You ain't
Get that Dr. Bonners. Get that Dr. Bonners.
You know, I actually think as because I couldn't figure out what to name the soap. I think I'm gonna name it the 4 Funk Winds.
The 4 Funk Winds.
4 F Winds is gonna be the soap that comes out in January. Lavender, eucalyptus,
Put it out. Put it out.
4 F Winds and hit all 4 of them areas.
I'll send one to everybody in Chicago. The Windy City.
If you did not learn anything tonight, learn that 4 odors. By the time you smell anyone from these 4, it's too late. Your mouth, your armpits.
Take that into 2022.
Oh, this one is my only one because you got to keep your prostitution tools clean.
You gotta hit that with that rag every couple of hours, not
if no nothing else.
Hit it with that rag and
get clean.
Water.
You clean your kitchen and your bathroom and your prostitution tools.
Yes.
This year I might miss that from time to time.
It's really almost. I'll forgive armpit because it happens. We're human, right? Hormones, whatever. But if you pull your draw, if I smell your funk wind from the front or the butt, you are hold up nasty. Because that means you have not washed down there for a minute.
You got to please and everything. It's like, you know what?
You need a dip. You need a dip. I dip, you dip.
I'm not touching anything touched. I'm not eating anything that you hand me. I'm not going to touch your hand. I will not know because that means that you have no hygiene at that point. That's not an accident. If I can smell from there, you have let that go for several days.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Tony. We should have done this on the after show and not. I'm so sorry.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Hopefully, you guys will join us on the 29th for our little hootenanny again. We're doing that again. Hopefully, you can join us for that. If not, have a wonderful New Year. Have a wonderful holiday, whatever you celebrate. And we'll see you in the new year. So take care. Walk in beauty, everyone.
Love you guys.
Love you guys. Bye.